Alrighty, and we are back. Week 4 in the books. I might just stop watching football. I might just from 1 to 8. I might just, especially one specific team. I might pick up what I did in COVID. I might just start golfing again.
That's what you said. So that is what you said. You said you shot a 38. So.
I did, yeah. One of our listeners, Rob, he was there. So if anybody needs to validate my score,
a nice attest, like what's that after
the grant, yes. So I might just start doing that. I might start just really excelling at my golf game, taking a break from a certain team that just continuously lets me down. Usually in the 1 o'clock slate. This so happened to be in the 4 o'clock slate, which was even worse. So, but yeah, no, other than that, everything's going pretty good.
Yeah, and we had a 2 and 3 week, so that's not good either. We had some nice graphics, but the picks weren't there.
Yeah, the graphics were great. I like the tweet. For everybody that doesn't realize what we're talking about, follow the NFL Bros on Twitter.
Yes, at bros_NFL.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We have bros_NFL?
Yeah.
We just didn't make it out NFL Bros.
The original NFL Bros was...
Oh, is that the one that got banned?
Yeah.
By a certain someone. I did not realize that. So, well, I even learned something about our own Twitter account. I didn't realize that was one of the first banned accounts.
The original NFL Bros account.
Was that the one that attacked Amy Acton and Mike DeWine? Or was that a different account?
That's a different account. So, there's been many accounts.
I can't keep them all straight. I didn't even realize. I didn't realize our podcast account was so bad that it got taken off Twitter. I genuinely didn't know. I actually didn't know that was what our Twitter
that's why I said, just cancel me, whatever. It's over. There's nothing you can do at this point. I know I'm done. So we can only go to a certain. We have a ceiling on this pod. So.
What did Jordan say? The ceiling is the roof.
Yeah, we can only go so far here. Kind of like our sports teams.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, that's very much true. We're only going to have one person talking today that actually won.
Yes.
So that's pretty sad.
Which he'll be very late as usual. So that's nice.
No shocker there.
I'll tell you who won't be late, and that's Joe. And we're going to bring him on.
We're doing the live call
right now.
We like the live call, so we're running that back.
Hello?
Joe.
What's up, Howie?
Nothing. Just depression. I talked about our opening monologue was me saying I'm probably going to just do what I did last year in COVID, and we just golfed all the time on Sunday. I might just run that back.
Yeah, I'm about ready to punt on the season myself. I'm rapidly losing hope.
Just one specific team, and then usually in like I said, the 1 or 4 o'clock slate. It was even more depressing seeing them in the 425 slate lose.
Yeah, because and we had Romo and Nance just telling everybody how awful we were. It was quite embarrassing.
It was weird to hear, they were, extremely negative on the Steelers, I felt like, which for very, good reasons, but, usually you'd say the announcers are usually not so into one team saying how shitty they are.
Yeah. I think we're going to be in for a lot of that this year.
Right. I was even taken back. I was like, Jesus, guys. I mean, you're not on the pod. I mean, you're actually calling the game a nationally televised sporting event. Leave that to me and Joe.
Yeah, I thought CBS also. Yeah, they took a lot of shots of Sad Ben on the sidelines.
Sad Ben and Sad
at
Juju.
the end of the game. Yeah.
Well, how about when we called that they were going to show the Super Bowl graphic of tinted visor Ben losing the game, throwing the pick, and then Rodgers holding the Super Bowl trophy.
Yep.
They played that right.
It was like we literally had just made the joke, and then they literally the next segment they said it during one of the Steelers drives in which we were unable to move the football. So
it was almost like you had it queued up.
Well, it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite Ben looks because you wore that stupid tinted visor just for the Super Bowl, and he was extra fat in that season too. It was, but you know what that Ben was? That was a mobile fat Ben that could take hits in the pocket, move around, and then throw the ball 50 yards on a dime.
Yeah, there was a video floating around Twitter this week. It was like of Ben of old, where he is just scrambling for 50 yards and just launches it downfield to. I think I saw Fast Willie Parker and I saw Plaxico Burress and
the good old days.
Santonio Holmes. Yeah,
I wish I had my towel with me right now. I'd start waving it. You know, it's funny. The Yinzers on Twitter have become very we're reminiscing on all the good times. We're only in week 5, and I feel like I'm dead.
But once again, this is the problem, and it goes back to Ben leaving the party. You're reminiscing the good times of the night where you guys were winning at beer pong. You know, you bumped fists it was a great moment. Ben's still hanging around. It's 3:45 in the morning. We're you just leave already? He just won't leave.
Yeah.
Oh, he is definitely hanging around this party way too long. Way too long.
So, but there's a rumored love affair with Aaron Rodgers now.
You need to tweet the picture that you sent in our DM group chat, so you can have that just replaying and retweeting every week. Just Aaron Rodgers in the Steelers uniform.
Yeah, I found that after I guess he went on to McAfee's show and he showed some appreciation for a YouTube personality that does stereotypical Pittsburgh dad. And he said that he found those funny, and now all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is coming to the Seal City next year.
He thinks Pittsburgh dad's funny, so he wants to be a Yinzer.
Yeah, and then he has that little exchange with Tomlin where they just kind of,
that was weird.
They kind of winked and smiled at each other on Sunday. But
that was weird. That made me feel awkward.
Yeah, that gave me some weird feelings too.
Yeah, I didn't like that. It was weird. I was taken back by how they acknowledged each other, and then CBS, it was almost like a rom-com. They kept going back and forth between the two faces.
So you guys saw the Sunday Night Football promos with Brady and Belichick and the Adele song playing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on Instagram somebody edited the Rodgers and Tomlin exchange with the same music. And
Isn't it Adele, Hello from the Other Side? Isn't that?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny. But
it didn't take them long.
Right. To shift a little bit back to Ben here, which who would have thought that? But for all of our listeners that don't follow Tomlin press conferences or Steeler press conferences during the week, I have a theory for you guys. I think because the Steelers organization is so loyal, okay, Joe can contest to this, we will stand behind our guys for way too long. I honestly think unless Ben gets hurt, Ben's the starter all year. I do generally think that after hearing Tomlin's press conference, how much he backed him, no matter how bad this thing gets, I think he's going to be the starter the rest of the year, unless he gets hurt.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think you're 100% right.
Because the way he talked about him in that press conference, there was no ands, ifs, or buts about who the starting quarterback of that team was.
So is Rooney saying as long as you start Ben, you keep your job even if you go 1-16? Joe, do you know the press conference I'm talking about? I think it was Tuesday or yesterday or Monday, maybe.
I thought he had a pretty good press conference because there was other comments he made that I want to touch on too. But go ahead.
Yeah, so the way that he spoke about Ben, and it was almost like deflective's not the right word I'm using, but he was passing blame throughout the offense, saying we're not putting this all on 7. He's not playing his best football, but he is our guy. He is our leader. He is our quarterback, and he was very definitive in saying that. So after hearing, go ahead, Joe.
He also said that he can't move the way he used to. He goes, "That's the old Ben. That's not. We're not going to see that guy. He's that's behind him."
Right. Well, we're like, yeah, Mike. We saw that all over Twitter. We know he's not the same guy. The tripping over himself with the pass against the Bengals is still probably one of the laugh out loud funny passes of the year in my eyes. But it just the way that I broke down and read that press conference, I do think that Ben is going to be the starter the entire year unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, barring any injury. But right. I also have a theory to float to you that
let's hear it.
Maybe they're trying to just push him out the door without literally pushing him out the door. They're bringing in hired a new offensive coordinator, but same quarterback's coach from last year, but they're implementing a new offense that isn't really Ben's style.
Right.
They're not. It sounds like they're not really giving him a whole lot to play with at the line of scrimmage as far as calling it, moving into audibles or anything like that.
Right.
He doesn't like the 2-minute. They told him, hey, you're gonna take a pay cut this year. So all these things are adding up to where it's like, okay, we're trying to just gently push you out the door, and hopefully you make the decision to leave.
So Joe,
but again, back to Marx's analogy of the party, Ben is just refusing to leave the party.
Refusing to leave. So Joe and Mark heard what I dove deep into Steelers Twitter prior to the game on Sunday, and there have been reports, shockingly enough, that Ben is not getting along with Matt Canada, who is our OC, not liking his style of calls, not giving him the freedom that he had in Haley's offense, and especially which I would. This is going to be crazy to say, might lean Ben's way with this one. The 2-minute drill has been horrendous, and supposedly that's the way that Canada wants to run it. So, I'm kind of leaning Seven's way on that one because it hasn't been effective, or has not been effective.
No.
So all things pretty good in Pittsburgh so far.
No comment.
Yeah, so disaster. I don't think, and let's stay on the party analogy. It's almost like the guy at the party that already has very bad self-awareness and doesn't really get social cues. But now it's just more amplified where everyone's like, man, that guy's such a fucking loser. Like, why won't he leave?
Yeah.
Like, now it's even being more amplified, I feel like.
And I would argue that Canada would cause the argument, well, Big Ben, you're the one that's running my offense terribly.
I mean, it's not. I mean, the offensive line is also doing a horrendous job of running his offense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Plus, I don't think Ben doesn't like the fact that he's up in the booth and not on the sideline.
That was one of the other things. He wants, Haley stayed on the sideline because he wants to talk to him. The other thing we made a joke about was how, nobody talks to Ben on the sideline except for Josh Dobbs, which I find hilarious.
I just feel like Ben has, this, if Ben wasn't starting this weekend, I would bet so much money on the Steelers. And I feel like there's so much value in the Steelers just losing Ben. Just, replacement not withstanding, just losing him because he's, has this, high, he's bigger than the rest of the team almost at this point. He's
right.
How old has Ben? 37 now.
30. Yeah, right.
Right.
37,
Juju and these guys, they're all in their they're 23, they're 24. We don't hang out with 23 and 24-year-olds.
No.
And we're younger than Ben, so it's
right. And I think too.
Most of us are younger than Ben.
Well, the clip of Juju on the sideline going, "It's a Ben problem," was one of the most damning things I saw all weekend.
I saw that same tweet, and there was some disagreement as to what he actually said. I don't think he said that it's a Ben problem. I think he said something about it was a bad ball or something like that. Or
I don't know.
But there's no. I mean,
I thought when you slow it down after he turns and looks to whoever asked him, I thought it looked like it said it's a Ben problem.
That's why I think they're just done with him. They can't relate to him. It's just when they lose him, the team will kind of unite and it'll be like, okay, let's go now. We're sick of him. Now Mason still might suck, but
he will suck.
But I think you'll get a better all around team effort too, because it's I don't want to play for this asshole anymore. I'm so sick of him.
You know what? It's funny because I feel like sometimes with a team, there's a certain player or coach or whoever that everybody truly hates, and when that person leaves, no matter who replaces them, you almost just naturally rally around that person, no matter who it was. I.e., this case would be Mason Rudolph, and also terrible quarterback, but like you said, at least it's technically, I guess, a live body.
And Mason in the preseason showed some things.
Again, we've talked about the preseason. I could look good in the preseason.
So
yeah, Dwayne Haskins looked decent in the preseason.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Minus that Carolina game, where he went 3 of 15 with 2 picks. I think he threw a pick on the opening drive.
That was a fun time for on Twitter when the Steelers first got him. When people were well, maybe Dwayne could be something, and everyone, you guys were all and me too, he won't even make the team. So at least he made it a little further than that.
Well, you said cut. I said they would probably keep him around. I mean, obviously he's not good. He's not going to play, but
yeah.
Buckeye Bro Nation loved it. They were like,
they were also excited too. Yeah.
They're like, Dwayne, he's got a chance.
Yeah.
Tomlin's going to groom him. This is going to be sick. He's probably going to throw for 5,000 like he did at Ohio State.
Didn't happen.
Nope. Threw 2 picks against Carolina in the preseason game.
The Steelers quarterback situation, we go through each week, still not good.
I think Josh Dobbs might be our best option. He doesn't even dress. He just talks to Ben. He's just Ben's like personal assistant on the sideline.
We're not.
He just tells Ben, "I still like you."
Because
nowhere else likes Ben.
I think Dobbs is like the opposite of Ben. He's like the anti-Ben. He's the guy that everybody likes. And Dobbs is super smart. He like works for NASA like in the off season.
Oh wow.
So.
Yeah, I mean at this point, why not? I don't know. But I like how every week we just go back to this. It's Steelers quarterbacks not good.
Steelers team not good, but definitely the quarterback position.
So
yeah, the quarterback is definitely the torchbearer there.
All right, so let's get to the win tracker. We'll start with Joe.
I'm curious to see because I threw out some stuff.
Is it possible for the NFL to take wins away?
No, you have one.
Keeping it.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go with 2 wins.
I
honestly, I was looking through the schedule.
They're going to get 2 this week.
I think they can win this week only because Denver is depleted. They have injuries left and right.
Yeah, the whole team pretty much.
The Seahawks come to town for a Sunday night battle, which is going to be not good.
If you beat Denver, you guys will be all fired up for the Seattle game. Guaranteed. The win trackers.
Oh, of course I am. Well, I will be. Joe will be like, I don't know. We should probably think about this. I'm like, no, fuck it. Play Renegade. Let's go. Lures by 90. I'm staying up till midnight.
All right. Continue, Joe.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking. There's probably like 4, maybe 5 wins on this schedule.
Not bad.
So your total.
I mean, we do. I'm going to say 5 wins. I mean, we do play the NFC North, so that's going to give us a couple wins there. But I mean, I don't know that they win another game in the division or even in the conference. They have to travel to LA Chargers. Wow. That's not going to be good. They have to go to Arrowhead. That's not going to be good.
Oh wow!
And then, I mean, it's just a tough schedule. It's tough sledding for the Steelers, and I don't think it's going to work out very well. I think we're going to end up with 5 wins is what my tracker is right now.
It's crazy, Joe, because like we did not discuss. I made the joke that they were actually going to lose the remainder of their schedule and actually just pull the Jags from last year.
Yeah. Now
with the extra game, go 1-16. It's insane. I actually went through the schedule. I said 5 wins as well. Wow. I think this is a 5-12 team if I've ever seen one. It's just I just don't see when you go through it. And I agree with Joe. I think in the division, I think you get swept easily by Baltimore and Cleveland. I don't see what you saw in the past few weeks that says you can beat Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati will continue to trend upward. I think they're a young team that's going to get better. And then the Steelers' schedule before the season was ranked the 2nd toughest. Now, listener Megan's going to say it was 1, but from what the stats that I saw, Baltimore's schedule was ranked 1, Steelers were 2. So you're already setting yourself, this is a shitty team that has an extremely difficult schedule.
Not good. Just not good.
And I think this is going to be, most of the pod is going to be negativity and hate.
Well, the problem is, I want to be that guy. I want to rally the troops. That is in my nature. I want to rally the Yinzers behind this team. But this team has done nothing to provide anything that I could rally behind.
So this week, real quick, Denver, Pittsburgh, what are we picking? Steelers are now -1.
You go first, Joe.
Yeah, I'll lay the points. I think they can. I think they'll cover. Wait, should we predict Cynthia's scores?
For those who don't know,
Steelers -1. What's the over?
The total's 40.5.
40.5.
Yeah, 21-19.
So does it say 21-19?
Yes.
Cynthia, for those of our listeners that don't know, if you watch the NFL Network's pregame show, she is I don't know what you would call her. She'll predict scores of the games.
Yeah,
and
it's called Cynthia's projections.
So basically, she'll just look at a spread and then just play it to the spread, and then the total she'll put right at the total, which is absolutely insane.
So
it's like she doesn't understand what that is.
I don't think I don't know. I don't know if they didn't explain it to her or if she was like, hey, I'm just going to try to be right every single time, so I'm just going to play right to what Vegas said.
Or I think, like, whatever, like...
Is her?
Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to ask if her segment is sponsored by, like, some sort of gambling app or something. Maybe
like
a DraftKings.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, is it?
No, I was going to say, like, she's probably using, like, MGM Sportsbook, like, their calculator for the lines and the total, and then that's Cynthia's projection. She's just using the exact same thing. So...
Yeah, I'm with Joe. I'm gonna lay it. I think this Broncos team is just especially if Teddy doesn't go, this Drew Lock sucks. He's a horrendous quarterback.
Yeah.
Hence why they went out to get Teddy. So this offense with Drew Lock, no chance. They're extremely banged up on the outside. I just, shitty as the Steelers team is, you gotta take them in this spot at home. If you have any backbone, if you have any fight left in you, you have to win this football game. You have to win this football game. If you lose to this depleted Broncos team, I might not watch the rest of the year. I might actually do what I said in the opening monologue and just golf. I think I'm just going to play 18. I'm going to pick the times. I'm going to see what time they play, either 1 or 4, or the random primetime game, and I'm just going to golf. I'm just going to go by myself. I'm just going to schedule a single, and I'm going to go play 18. Hopefully, shoot another 38 on the back 9. But
I'll go with you, Howie. We can.
Okay, there we go.
Or just have it on in the background.
Right there we go. It'd be more enjoyable than what we've seen so far, minus the second half of the Bills game.
This is the one thing I enjoy about the NFL is, like, I have no emotional attachment to it, so I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to continue along here.
I'm ready just to not watch anymore, and you're like, yeah, I'm good.
It's just fun to watch. I like when the Steelers are good. I like when the Browns are. I like when anybody's good. It doesn't bother me. I just continue to watch. So,
yeah, that's fun.
But yeah,
and it's tough for us, Joe, because all these other loser franchises are used to this. We're not. Tomlin's been over 800, over 500 for so long. We haven't even when we flirted with mediocrity. That fucking shit team with Duck and Mason even had a threat to make the playoffs that year.
Well, I was listening. Cam Hayward was on the radio this week, and he was saying that the defense, they knew that the offense wasn't going to put up points, so they had to. They set little goals for themselves.
That 19 team or this team?
Yeah, they said, okay, we got to hold offenses below 17 points, or we have to get a score on defense this week or something. They set specific goals that they achieved. Because look what happened. There's no way in hell that team should have been that good.
In the era of what the offensive rules in the NFL have laid out for the games, it is insane that you could set a goal saying we have to hold teams under 17 points. And the average game is easily going into the 20s and 30s.
I mean, all the totals are the average total on a game is like 47.
It's insane that you could set a goal and be like, hey, we have to hold a team under 17.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm not saying that they achieved the goal every week.
No, but I'm just saying
that was their benchmark.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Even to think that, though, is insane.
Well, when you have Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph as your starting quarterback, you're going to have to set lofty goals.
I'm not going to say that I looked during the game to see where Duck was at because, he's in Canada. He's not available to play for us right now. But, I mean... He was one of those guys. We can cite the game at Cincinnati in that 19 season where he was a spark plug because Mason sucked in that game.
Yep.
So, we're talking about shifting some, trying to get a spark, trying to get the team going.
Howie, would you take Cam Newton right now?
How healthy was Cam Newton when they let him go?
I don't know. Because
then we're just replacing another old quarterback that's banged up with another other quarterback that's banged up.
I think he has long COVID. Other than that, I think he'll be fine.
would I take Cam Newton this spot? I don't think it could hurt. You know what you have with Mason, and you know you don't have anything in Dwayne. So, I think Cam, and I think a lot of people, said Cam sucked. He was terrible last year. He went to a new system, during a COVID year where they had no, they had no OTAs. They were doing all their stuff remote. So, I mean, if he was healthy, I mean, why not? You can't be any worse than what we've seen from Ben. If his arms, because the problem was his shoulder. If his shoulder's fine, I mean, he had some mobility last year. I mean, he threw a bunch of picks, but, I mean, again, it's not like we've seen anything different from Seven so far this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I mean, you hate to say it, maybe Ben just twists an ankle and that's it for him.
Put him in the boot. Get Ben's walking boot.
A real walking boot.
Well,
he's still on the injury report. I don't think.
Oh, he's not coming off that thing.
Yeah.
Ben's riding the injury report for at least another 13 weeks here.
Yeah, I think they can just go ahead and write his name in permanent marker on the injury report.
It's like what was it? Belichick did that with Brady throughout his entire career when New England. He always had him on the injury report.
Yeah,
you could throw 7 on there every week. Just change the diagnosis, but just leave him on there.
Like, Ben, we've opened the door. It's time for you to walk out the door now.
And he's still drinking. He's still eating chips.
So, all right. So
he's looking for his phone that he can't find.
He's like, oh wait, you guys don't want to play one more game? Just one more?
Well, no, you sucked the last game. You could barely even. You didn't even make a shot.
You couldn't even make a shot. You couldn't even pick up the ball. We even didn't even call your elbows, and you still missed it.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna move on to another loser team, the Yankees, Joe. So.
Oh, Mark, my condolences to your Yankees. That was probably pretty rough to watch last night.
I didn't watch much, so
I watched more of it. Did you watch it, Joe?
No, I forget what I think I watched. I watched something on Hulu last night, I think. But
Hulu guy.
I was following along on my phone.
You and Baker, Hulu guys.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Live sports now.
Huh, interesting.
Joe's already flipping sides. So.
Well, Hulu does have live sports. That's good. The free promo ad for Hulu there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, that was depressing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna hop off and let you guys talk Yankees.
It'll be more depressing. So.
Yeah. Well, you're not missing much.
Yeah.
All right,
Joe.
See you, Joe.
See you guys.
All right, so we'll dive right into the loser Yankees. I'm going to be quick here. Like, this isn't going to take long. I knew this team was going to lose going into it. That's why when you asked me a week ago, are you back? I said no.
Well, you said back originally, and then you said you weren't back.
Yeah, I can never believe in this team, really, truthfully, the entire season. So before the game, I was like, Cole's going to get shelled here. We're done. And, 2-run homer. I came out. You didn't see it. I was listening to the game. I was like, it's done. And then really after that, like, I thought that the Yankees could hang around and make it close. Like, maybe they got a 4-2 game. I actually ended up betting them plus 3.5 in the game, and they lost. They couldn't even do that. So, there's not much more to say on the game. They walked like 7 guys. Boston walked nobody. Or we got no walks, so we swung at the first pitch every single time, which was the exact opposite strategy of this team the entire season. So, that made no sense. So
it usually doesn't.
It's just like, you just see the incompetence on the team, whether it's, here's the guys that have to go. It's Gary Sanchez, it's Joey Gallo, it's Aaron Boone, it's Brian Cashman, and that's it. And you can build, like, Gardner's gone. Like, thanks for hanging around, Brett. We appreciate it. Like, he got some big stuff. Even this year, he had some big hits, whatever. Thank you. Like, time to go. See ya. But, they're gone. So, like, you bring back, hopefully, like, a healthy LeMahieu, Judge, Stanton, and they hit the ball well again. Like, you can be okay next year. Void, obviously, let him go, fine.
Right.
So, like, you're going to have a bunch of new guys, was what I'm saying. And, like, they'll be okay. But the biggest problem is the owner is terrible. Brian Cashman's terrible. Aaron Boone's terrible. At best, you're going to get Aaron Boone fired, probably. So nothing's really going to change. We're just going to continue to lose. I'll continue to come on the podcast. We're always going to be very good. Like, we'll be very good. We'll win a bunch of games. We'll win 90, 100 games. Probably going to win 100 games next year because they'll make a bunch of moves. But at the end of the day, until you can actually win something, like, it's just pure torture. And I think they're just always going to be in that purgatory because they don't have the starting pitching and they don't have a GM that's confident at acquiring starting pitching. and especially confident, even like in general recently with the Joey Gallo acquisition, which was, as I said, the worst acquisition I've ever seen.
Right.
And just hanging on to Gary for this long, like it's just time to just like, okay, like if he doesn't get rid of Gary this year, then we're like, when are we getting rid of him?
He might just stay forever.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
like the Gary, like top 3 catcher on Twitter guys, like they haven't been around lately.
It's tough look. It's tough look with what Gary did this year.
Haven't seen them around. And one more comment. So then, sorry, I know this is a little longer than I wanted it to be, but let's call out the losers too. There's some losers that I can't stand, and everybody on Twitter that's a Yankees fan, other than myself, I'm not on Twitter though, is a total loser. Mm-hmm. Like the Barstool guys, like I was pointing out to me, like just they're all losers. Like it's horrendous. It's a bad look on us. As I said in text today, I'm the real Yankees fan. I'm angry at the team 98% of the time. I'm Italian.
That's true, yeah.
That's what the Yankees are. Like whatever this is, like dude, Stanton hit a home run, 450. Did you see that, Jack? Dude, like that's not the Yankees. That's ridiculous. It's take care of business. We win games. We win championships. The new like launch angle, home run, Judge home. Like I don't care about that. This is about wins. I think Judge and Stanton understand that. I'm not calling them out. I'm saying the fans. Like the fans need to change their attitude back to like, all right, we're firing everybody now. We didn't win. Fucking get a lot better. And like that attitude to me, it's just gone. It's lackadaisical now. It's like a corporate brand. It's kind of like what the Cowboys have fallen into for a few years. I think that Buck heard that he'd lose his mind, but it's true. Right. Like so, I think that the Yankees need like a new energy in them to like they need a new GM. They need new manager. They just need everything needs to be new and energetic. Again, they just seem like not.
Right. Well, I think, especially knowing you as long as I have, there's a certain edge to Yankees fans that used to be there. I mean, you literally fought a kid one time because he was wearing a Boston hat, but like that same fire isn't there anymore. Like there's no edge. And I think just a quick Barstool point. I think Dave hired those guys because he knew how big of losers they were, and then you can have all the like more of the like the Boston guys who are kind of almost like Yankees fans, just the Boston version of you guys. Yeah. Basically just alpha them the entire time.
It's true. It is true.
I think that's what he did. I think he did it on purpose. Hubs is like one of like the biggest weasels. If anybody's wondering who it is, he's one of the Barstool Yankees guys. Yeah. Check out his avatar on. He's just like this like little like 5'2", probably never played sports weasel that has no idea what's going on. But that's what Dave did. I'm almost positive that's why he did it, which is a smart move on him. Again, another win for him.
Because I think, like, I hate Carabas. I think he's a loser too. But
he is a loser.
But he's good. Like he understands
the
game.
Good
right. Like so, like he like does good stuff. He puts out like decent thoughts. Like Hubs is totally useless. Like
right. I mean, so you might be getting a Spin Yankees podcast off the NFL Bros. We flirted with the idea.
It's going to come back, and it's just going to be. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get the real podcast.
I have, since I basically have no MLB team because the Pirates are irrelevant, I've become a pseudo Yankees fan, and also having a friend working for the organization, so I've become very well educated in Yankees baseball. Actually, watched the entire game last night, so kudos to me for.
Yeah, you're a true fan. I'm not. I watched
I watched till the last out, the fly out to right field.
In total time, like actually watching it live, I think I was under an hour for sure. I just listened to most.
And it kept dragging on too. Like it flew to the 6th, and then the last 3 innings just dragged on. Yeah. So, yeah, very torturous for you. Definitely not the easiest death I've ever seen in a 1-game playoff.
No. So then I just took some medicine and said goodnight. So that was it for me.
As a guy that's 1-2 in one game elimination games, I can speak to that one was pretty shitty.
Yeah. So that was fun.
So Yankees baseball not back.
Yeah.
Steelers football not back.
No, so not good either. So who's back? I think Ohio State might be back now. So
let's circle it. The Buckeye Bros are going crazy right now. They're like, dude, did you just hear what NFL bro Mark said? That's so sick that he said that.
So in my note, I put Ohio State might be okay.
If you want the hard-hitting analysis, of of your favorite sports teams. Come to the NFL, Bruce.
But
Ohio State might be okay.
In all seriousness, I think like their offense, I think we can say is like
it's fine.
It's legit. Yeah,
it's fine.
They're averaging 8.4 yards per play. That's number one in college football right now. I know they played Akron and they got a bunch of yards against them, but they did it against Oregon and Rutgers as well.
Yeah,
they're a great pro. But I mean, the offense is back. Like it's legit.
The offense is fine. Again, not what our concern was anyway.
No.
But.
And the defense, I think they're doing a good job just saying, okay, like we played all these older guys, you know, as I was very critical of when we went to the Oregon game.
You were too negative.
And now we're gonna play the younger guys, and it seems like that's also energizing, like some pass rush, some different things like coming from that. So I feel like that's very helpful as well.
I agree. Well, I think they've changed up schematically a little bit too. They're blitzing more. It seems like I think they're disguising their coverage is better. I think they're like I said they're blitzing more. I think they're changing stuff up. And the Kerry Coombs, you know, me and you were watching him. I'm like, I can tell you exactly what they're doing. Well, there was no movement. There was no blitzing. There was no pass rush. You know what I've seen. You know, since actually, what's the guy's name? I know what he looks like.
Matt Barnes.
Yeah. From when he's taken over, even in like I said, the Tulsa game was kind of a feel through game. But Akron, the defense looked really good again. Everyone's going to say, well, it was Akron. Yes. But when you're playing shitty teams, you still want to see execution. And they were able to execute against Akron and against Rutgers. So, again, am I saying that it's a great defense? No. But you want to see them at least perform with what they're calling, you know, schematically. So that's where I think they look a lot better.
Ohio State's going to be a team that's going to win games like 35-21, 42-24. Like, they're not going to win games, you know, 24-7 ever. Like, I don't think under any circumstance this year you're going to see like a 24-7 win.
I don't think so.
So, and there's going to be like, you know, crazy weather or something like that for something like that to happen.
Right.
So I think that the defense really just has to be able to get some stops, get some turnovers, cause some havoc.
And which I think they can.
And you just unleash, you know, this offense that I think is only going to get better. And then it's just like, I don't know, what do you do with Wilson, Olave, Travion, a very good offensive line? It's just good luck. I don't know what you can do with that. So So I think they're back. We don't spend too much time on the Little 10, but we picked against Michigan, and they absolutely murdered Wisconsin. So another wrong.
I had a few listeners call us out on that one. We missed.
There's been a lot of misses on this pod, so our teams are done. Our picks are
If we didn't start off 6-0, we'd be in a lot of trouble right now. We'd be in a lot of trouble right now.
We knew it too because week 2 we came on here. We're like, oh shit, we went 6-0. We're done.
We're done.
Because then the next weeks, like it's just that's what happens. It's sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. The goal is just to have a few more ups than downs. And right now we're slowly going down. We're like going 2 and 3 each week. We threw out a big college bet. We lost big there. I want to throw out another college bet because I already bet.
Okay, go ahead.
Everyone disagrees with this one too. I think Texas plus 3.5 is an absolute lock against Oklahoma.
See, this is bad because I agree with that. I just think Oklahoma sucks.
All right, we're going again. We're 0-1 to college best bets.
Let's run it back. I have seen no life from that Oklahoma offense, and they have not played. Now, we're talking about relative to the opponents that you're playing that we've used with Ohio State. Oklahoma has not played any juggernaut defenses, and their offense looks horrendous. Spencer Rattler is not that guy. Their offense can't move the ball at all. They should have lost to Tulane. They should have lost to West Virginia. Yeah. This team is not good. They are not the 6th best team in the country.
Yeah, they're due to just get beat. And I think the people are just they're just waiting for the giant Spencer Rattler game. Like, newsflash, it's not coming.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say,
it didn't happen last year against Texas.
They should have lost that game.
Texas' defense was terrible last year, and he couldn't move the ball against them.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens this year. Texas wins this game outright. Texas can run the ball too. Oklahoma can't. That's going to be a huge difference in this game.
The NFL bros were putting the stamp on it.
Once again, I don't care. I'm running it back. Give me Texas. And I don't even really need 3.5. Give me Texas outright. They're going to win the game.
Money line them.
They're going to win the game.
Throw the horns up. No, wait. We can because we're in support of them.
Yeah.
We just can't flip it the other way.
No. But yeah, Texas not back, but beats Oklahoma this week.
Texas still not good, but they just beat a very shitty Oklahoma.
They beat Oklahoma. I think Texas is going to win the Big 12.
Yeah, they probably will. I mean, who else? There's no other threat in the Big 12.
They're winning this game, and they're winning the Big 12. That's my bold prediction. Give me Texas.
God, what a shitty conference the Big 12 is.
It's not great. I mean, college football is so weird this year. Like we went through it, and like there's really not. There's two teams that clearly look like the best two teams. It's Georgia and Alabama.
100%.
Curious to see Georgia play an offense that like can actually throw the ball. I guess we won't see that until they play Alabama.
I was about to say, well, if you look down the SEC East, that's also not a great division.
Right. So
Florida being bounced now with another loss out of the top 10. I think out of the top 15. I think they're like 20th now. So that team's dead.
Yeah, I don't blame Florida for losing that. Kentucky's not bad, so that was a tough game, especially after playing Bama and then Tennessee. Like, those are big game, and then you got to go to Kentucky, like little old Kentucky, and you get beat. So
right.
I still think I don't know. Like, I feel like Florida's better than like a lot. I feel like Florida's better than, and people will lose their minds for me saying this. I feel like Florida's better than Iowa. I feel like Florida's better than Michigan State.
Well, I mean, again, Michigan State's big win right now is Northwestern. On a Friday night.
It was Miami, really. That's what.
But Miami's worse. Okay, what do you think? Miami versus Northwestern.
that's a hell of a game.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus. The two most disappointing teams.
Yeah.
I think I got to go Miami still. Northwestern just got beat like 66-7.
That's true.
Nebraska.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they got their ass kicked. So yeah, you're right.
But I mean,
it's
hard to pick Miami though. Yeah, it's hard to bet either of those teams are going to win a game. So yes, like really to me, like I think Michigan State's a total fraud. Then they put up like 600 yards against Western Kentucky, but they give up 500 passing. Like
right.
I don't buy them at all. I don't buy Michigan State. I think Michigan's going to go in there on October 30th and and beat their ass. That's when I'll be on Michigan. Finally,
back to being a Michigan bro.
I'll be on Michigan that weekend. So we'll continue our little 10 segments as we go forward. But
yeah, I always like talking little 10. I like to change up with college football.
It's actually it's by far the most interesting conference this year.
Because of how many top 25 teams you have.
Yeah,
that we don't think are very good.
The ACC is already eliminated.
Very early. Well, let's not say Pitt. Let's not say it. They can run the table. That's a one-loss team against Western Michigan.
And Pitt's pretty good. I mean,
Kenny Pickett leads the NCAA in passing yards.
If they just didn't lose to Western Michigan.
They lost 45-42, I think it was, at home.
I mean, technically, and then we can't say that because then Michigan State beat Western Michigan.
That's true, yeah. Oh, shit. You just think when Pitt can maybe do it. Because the ACC is so bad, you're really at a toss-up.
I think
they destroyed Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech destroyed UNC.
I say, and Pitt Tracker on that Clemson game. Right now, I think Pitt's got a good shot in that game.
Playing them at home.
And what has Clemson shown you? Their defense has been great, but offensively, they've shown nothing.
And Pitt's defense is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, minus against Western Michigan.
But against Clemson, it doesn't seem to matter. Everybody's slowing them down. So
all right.
So I think
if I can get Pitt to slip into this thing, a one-loss Pitt team in Western Michigan.
We'll have to add Pitt to our
Pitt tracker.
The Pitt tracker as well.
I say 10 wins. I say 10 wins.
A double digit is that a BCS bowl?
Yeah. The University of Pittsburgh will have more wins than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll guarantee that.
I would say that's. Yeah, I'd say that's.
I'm putting an NFL bro stamp on that one. The University of Pittsburgh will have more wins than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I like that prop bet. That'd be a fun prop bet to throw out in Vegas.
Track it. Your ACC champion Pittsburgh Panthers.
So you're including ACC championship game and bowl game too. So
no, that was just regular season.
So just the 12 games for Pitt and 17 games for the Steelers.
Yeah.
All right, that's an interesting prop bet. I think Pitt will probably get 9 because they're going to they'll
definitely drop one of those games. Well, they already did it.
They're going to beat Clemson. I don't care who they play next week. It could be Florida State. Florida State's going to beat
by 90.
Yeah, they're going to lose.
Well, and that's why Pitt has never come back to promise since the Shady McCoy, Larry Fitzgerald years, because in the Big East they were always competing, winning 10 games a year, and then once they left the Big East and went to the ACC, they've had so many down games where they should have won so many football games and they've lost them all. And then they end up being 6-6 or 7-5 every year, and pretty much irrelevant.
Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the 11-1 Pitt team where everyone's just losing their mind. You're the only team that can Pitt save the ACC.
That's bad.
I think you're the only team that can do it. I think Virginia Tech's in it technically too.
They're technically in it, yeah. They're technically in it because UNC's out. So your horses at the beginning of the year, Clemson and UNC are gone.
Yep.
They're not relevant
Can't
now.
Make it.
So
Oh,
Miami's gone.
Wake Forest 5-0.
Wake Forest, Pitt, Wake Forest. That'd be a hell of an ACC.
NC State's in it. They're 4-1.
Okay.
Everybody else has been eliminated. Then you have Pitt at 4-1 and Virginia Tech at 3-1.
So I mean,
so it's between Wake, NC State, Pitt, Virginia Tech. They're all still alive technically.
Hey,
they got to run the table.
I'll take it. I'll take our chances.
The only two teams that are ranked in the ACC currently are Wake Forest, number 19, and NC State, number 23.
Jesus,
that's disrespectful to Pitt. Pitt should be in the top 25.
I was going to say it should be at least 25.
I think they should be in the top 25. That's a little disrespectful.
They went on the road, beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
They went at Georgia Tech and murdered them.
Yeah, that's disrespect. They should, and they're on a bye this week. They play Virginia Tech. I'm betting Pitt against Virginia Tech that game.
Oh yeah,
I believe.
Let's go.
All right,
let's do this thing.
That's our ACC Pitt breakdown. We'll add that to the.
Yeah, we'll add that. We'll do our little 10 ACC breakdown.
That put us 10 minutes late. But
Big 12, Big 12. We did our breakdown.
So technically, we're 10 late. So we'll.
Oh boy, do we have to call?
Well, we don't know. We're on to picks now.
Okay. Oh, we're going on to picks.
Right,
are we not calling him?
9:45.
Okay.
So.
I should have probably read our schedule. That was my fault. Now I sound like former manager Jones. I'm not even ready for the picks. Alrighty. We don't pick Thursday nights. The NFL Bros don't pick Thursday nights, but Rams are playing at Seahawks. Rams minus 2.5.
So this is the annual first Thursday night game. It's always Rams and Seahawks.
Right. They always do it. And I like how it has Fox/NFL Network.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense either. So it's Rams minus 1.
Libspin has Rams minus 2.5.
I got Rams minus 1.
Oh wow.
Let's check. Let's break the tie here.
You can see it. It's it.
2.5. Wow. I thought it was minus 1. Then I was going to pick the Rams, but 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 is pretty.
Yeah, I still like the Rams. So that's all I'm going to say is I like the Rams. I'm not going to bet it, and that's it.
We don't bet Thursdays.
Nope.
I like the Rams too. All right, let's travel to Sunday. We got the London kick. I forgot we have a London game, and we're sending our best. Jets, Falcons. We have Falcons minus 3. Does London have to hate us? They're like, what assholes keep sending either the Jags, Falcons, and Jets some sort of combination over here all the time?
I think this game is, I hate to say this game's easy, but I think it's easy. There's no way you can take the Falcons as a favorite. So give me the Jets.
This is an easy one.
The Jets are
the same thing.
The Jets are pretty frisky.
They have some life.
Yeah, they can make some things happen on defense, make some plays. Zach Wilson can get the ball down the field. Crowder seemed to help him back.
Well, my thing was, my biggest thing was going to be the Falcons secondary absolutely blows. Right. If you give Wilson time, you saw it last week. He can throw. Yeah.
And then once again, this is the same as betting the Rams Seahawks Thursday night game. We're not betting this game, but we're providing a breakdown of the game.
Right.
So I think that it's clear the Jets. So former manager Jim has forced us to do a part 1 and part 2 because he's late and not prepared for the podcast as usual. So this will wrap up part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.